I am absolutely spent just trying to prepare the show. I am exhausted by Monday morning at 7:35. There's like 11 things that happened since we would have been together Friday morning. I mean,
that's right.
Let's start with me trying to stick to my rule of never wallowing in the joy of a reprehensible person being fired from a job.
I know.
I don't like it when people celebrate somebody's career demise.
Yeah.
But Joy Reid is as odious as anybody out there on television.
Yeah.
She is so grotesque. She is, and it turns out calling everybody a racist Nazi every night evidently doesn't even work for MSNBC. So she's out.
I would love to think that at MSNBC they had a meeting and said, "Look, we are the liberal Trump-hating network, but she's too toxic even for us." Okay, and maybe that is what happened, but. They still employ Rachel Maddow. They still employ Lawrence O'Donnell.
Well,
every other show has the same garbage. So I don't think this is some epiphany from them.
Have you seen who they're going to replace her with?
As in a series of rotating things?
You think Simone Sanders is any better than Joy Reid?
That's kind of where I'm going.
Or Michael Steele?
Yeah.
Or the daughter of the disgraced Bob Menendez of New Jersey? That's the trio that they're going to replace her with. So no, it has nothing. She's just not good. I mean, she's not very smart. I mean, and she has been in a. So anyway, you got Joy. This is our weekend. Joy Reid is out. Yes. Dan Bongino is in as FBI deputy director. If you told me a year ago, I'd wake up one morning and tell my buddy Mark Davis, I know. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are going to run Trump's FBI.
Yep.
I would have thought you were crazy.
Yep.
Now, you said something earlier that rings true. This is exactly what we voted for.
Yeah.
Byron York had a very wry observation this morning on social media, saying that Politico is writing how the selection of Dan Bongino is really, really leading the left to great despair over the weaponization of the FBI. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? And Byron asks, can anyone argue with a straight face that the FBI has not been highly politicized for years?
Does a fish know he's wet? So that led me to say that the FBI's politicization has been so baked in for so long that if you have benefited from that politicization, to have that politicization removed looks like politicization, since everything's relative, right? It's like when Twitter went from being a conservative muzzle to free speech, it made it look like they went hardcore right-wing to some people who are hardcore left-wing. Everything's relative.
Well, it's all relative, and I am all I can think of is they made a big mistake when they raided her Melania's underwear drawer.
Yes.
Blank around and find out. And now we're in the find out portion of when that happened. I'm not kidding you. This is Trump, as the kids say. He doesn't have two craps to give. He doesn't care about optics. He doesn't care about any of it. He is like, you know what? I got 4 years to turn this whole ship around, he's going to blow up every single sacred cow there is. Meanwhile, he fires the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Mm-hmm. You know, not noticed on the mainstream media radar is the James O'Keefe video, where O'Keefe released a video that purportedly showed a high-level Pentagon official discovering secret meetings to defy and potentially overthrow Trump if he issued orders deemed controversial by military leadership. You know, look, let's just take stock here. All Trump did, what Trump did was he prevented a coup. And this guy, this chairman of the Joint Chiefs, is well known to be woke, well known to be all about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Which does not help us win wars.
It does not help us win wars, has no place for that. And look, they all serve at the pleasure of the president.
Correct.
There's nothing unusual about this. Imagine your employer saying to you, Mark, I want you to give me an email. Tell us 5 things you accomplished last week. and your head blows up.
Exactly.
I mean, well, now in your case, yours might. Now yours might. I mean, I don't think they would do that with you, but they could with me. I don't know. And I say, okay, well, here's what I did. I achieved this. We got that. But instead, they're losing their marbles. Yeah. This is absolutely, and here's the big mistake everybody makes on this whole purging of the federal workforce. Mm-hmm. They all apply it to Elon Musk. Elon Musk serves at the pleasure of the president.
Correct.
This is Trump's Doge. It's not Elon Musk's Doge. This is a little game they're playing in the media because they want to have a rift between Elon and Trump. It isn't going to work. They don't care. They don't care. Let them do it. You know, let them bellyache. Let them whimper. Let them whine. Let them flip out. Let them refuse to go to the White House like the Philadelphia Eagles are doing.
I had not gotten to this. The Philadelphia Eagles sent a little informal poll around the room, and most of them came back with a hard no, that they will not go to the White House as championship teams in various sports traditionally have done for decades.
Another reason to hate the Eagles.
As if I needed one. And so consistency check, it led me to post last night, shame on any team that does not accept the White House invitation. And I would say that even if I were fighting my way through a miserable Kamala Harris presidency.
Well, I mean, look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs went to the Biden White House to be acknowledged, and I don't think a lot of those guys like Joe Biden.
Nope.
A lot of them they're pretty MAGA. You know, that's why I was really, really, really rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm sad about it, but they're just classless. It's tacky. That's who they are. They're just a bunch of garbage people. And again, let them bellyache. They don't have to go. Who cares? Don't go. It gives President Trump more time to do something else.
No, of course. And this is no higher than the 7,000th most important thing in any given day. But decorum and manners and decency means something. And this is
it does to you and me.
Team. It should.
It does to you and me. No, it doesn't matter to a lot of people, unfortunately, on the left who are melting down in a magnificent way. Honest to goodness, when I was at the White House last week when talked to Gorka, and I've never seen him so happy. I talked to him again over the weekend. I mean, we just have to remember that all these things that are being rolled out are precisely what the American people expect, what we voted for, and what we're going to witness.
And they're actually happening. That's why there's such shock. They're actually happening throughout your entire life and mine. Republicans win. Yay. We're looking for better results than if a Democrat had won. Absolutely. But we're going to have usually 14 blue ribbon panels and 27 legislative committees, and your grandchildren will be grown before actual change happens. Now, we're a month into Trump 2.0. Look at all the change. The change is real. It is blinding in its pace, and things are actually happening, and that is a historic first. That's why.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge, and it's why I'm excited about coming to the Metroplex. I'll be on the plane later today. We're headed to Dallas for the big National Religious Broadcasters Convention over at the Gaylord. We had a staffer over there, not part of my show, but a staffer who wrote to one of the Salem executives and said, "Gosh, it's so expensive to eat here. Are there places off property that I can go get lunch? I can't afford the meals here at the Gaylord."
Upstairs. You know who's upstairs right now? Literally, I went up and said hi at 6:00 this morning. Chris DeGaulle and his producer Eddie. So who I've
Eddie.
Fast Eddie, exactly. Who I talked to, I filled in for Stegall last week, and so it's great. It was great to see these guys, and they're staying at the Gaylord, and so I was giving them all kinds of restaurant recommendations in Grapevine and South Lake, just like delis and other sort of some medium cost things and low cost things and some other high dollar things, just for whatever they want to do. And he said, "Yeah, listen, the chicken fingers and a Coke for $30 that's just not sustainable."
Who said that? Chris?
Eddie.
Oh, Eddie, yeah. Eddie's not happy. It was kind of funny. Obviously, you just outed him because he's the guy that was concerned about the prices at the hotel.
That's awesome.
I wasn't going to mention his name.
Well, both Chris and Eddie are going to come down and sit in with me at about 8:35 for a quick segment. So nice. I will.
Yeah. Well, tell Eddie, remind Eddie that he is on a business trip and he's allowed to expense his meals.
Well,
he may not know how Salem works, but when they travel, when any of us travel, you're allowed to turn. Now, where are we going to where are we going? Mesa? Well, I forget. What restaurant are we going to? We're going.
Dude. What, you going to be mobbed?
No. For our
yes.
No, our big
there will be no mention made of that. We have a very special group of listeners that you have been kind enough to gather, and then we will be doing that tomorrow at noon, which is awesome. And then we'll talk about it.
Wait a minute, you're not mentioning the restaurant?
No, dude, are you crazy?
Why? Why not?
Do you want to be mobbed in the parking lot?
Sure, why not? What the heck? Why not? We'll say hi to people.
That's oh, Lord.
We're meeting in secret? This is a secret society? Now, wait a minute. Go back.
Right.
Let me remind everybody.
Right.
So we did you came up with a great idea. You offered 8 people to join us for an in-person M&M experience for lunch.
Donation to Food for the Poor, exactly.
$1,000, which is great. Just a quick, cool $8,000, which will feed a lot of kids, save a lot of lives. I agreed to meet you with these 8 wonderful people for lunch tomorrow after I get off the air.
Exactly.
And are you going to tell me where to go?
I texted it to you. You know where to go. They know where to go. I'm not going to have our time. I'm not going to have our time with these generous people splintered out because 50 other folks decided mark in the parking lot.
You are seriously keeping this a secret?
100%.
Is there a secret handshake at the door?
There is. It's a password.
Is there a password?
The people who show up, they knock 3 times and say, the coyote howls at midnight.
I got a password. Mark is a kook. There's my password. Mark is a kook. All right, well, should I wear glasses? Should I wear dark glasses? Should I wear a trench coat? I want to know. Come on, where are we going? You're not going to say?
Nope.
Rhonda, what's wrong with this guy?
We'll tell everybody on Wednesday. It'll be great.
On Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Have you met people? You're the guy who's on a cruise and people and is mobbed by people and because it's the magic of you.
I love it.
And by the way, you're why this is necessary because I can walk around and nobody cares. But
are you kidding me?
You come rolling in and it's the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. So.
No, please. You're the legend around here. You're the legend. I think you need to give people an opportunity to wave at you. Do we have a round? You were really big about having a round table.
Yes, because the long if you got 10 total people,
right,
the long table doesn't work because if you're at one end and you hardly feel like you're exactly.
So did Rhonda? You guys set up a round table?
Absolutely.
At what restaurant?
Look at the time.
Where are we going? I can't believe I'm going to tell anybody. You text me, and if you want to know, 800-655-MIKE.
Not gonna
let me look at my text. So I may or may not send it out. I think this is crazy. No, I don't know. Okay. It's going to be fun.
It's like role reversal Monday because I would think that because we love the public. Please look what we do.
Look, but the rumor that Mike Gallagher never leaves his stateroom on those cruises is just simply not true. It's a vicious rumor. I love to get out and greet and meet and kiss babies. I'm a man of the people. Now, Mark, on the other hand, you gotta do the secret handshake.
If the idea is for me to be in a room of 500 people and shake every hand, I'll be in a room of 500 people and shake every hand. If the idea is to take 8 people at something that is specifically supposed to be for them, I'll be darned if I'm going to send up a smoke signal that goes, Mark and Margaret.
Well, I can happily report that people are completely agreeing with you on the text line. Here's Dallas. Oh, my goodness, Mike. People paid big bucks to be there with you and Mark. It is an exclusive event. Although Carlotta in Garland says, no, mention the name of the restaurant. We want to be there.
We'll tell you all about it on Wednesday.
All right, Wednesday it is, and I'll see you tomorrow morning
Safe
in
travels.
person. All right,
so are we going to be looking at you at the Gaylord from your broadcast operation?
Yeah, I'm going to be broadcasting from the Perch. We're going to be on the stage there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the big NRP.
Good.
Can't wait.
See
you soon.
Safe travels, man. Thank you. That is Mike. He joins us tomorrow every day, 10 a.m. as soon as we're done, right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.